Everybody. Well, we are checking into the Devro Sports Show. We are live from the Crack Belly Media Studios, live right here in Willow Grove, PA. We are live on Facebook, live on all social media accounts. Now, gentlemen, I am sitting here with my great rival, one from back in 06. Me and this guy, who we've won at in some crazy tag team matches. One, Chio Frost. Good morning, Chio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Our third episode of Breakfast and BodySlams. I think I'm really used to waking up in the morning anyway, since I work first shift anyway. So it's a plus for me though. It keeps me on my time frame. So
right, and this is a first for me sitting next to you like this. I feel like I'm in a tag match with you on my side instead of you raking my eyeballs out. Like, this is something I'm not used to. My man Dennis Reaper, of course, me and him had some battles back in 2010, and we tore the house down for Triple WA and a bunch of other small promotions. And people like seeing me and him beat the crap out of one another. So, Dennis, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning there, bro. It's nice seeing you.
And to the man, a real producer of the show, a man who has got knowledge of vision, and 10 times better than that punk Bob, my man Nate Moss. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Nate.
Oh man,
sorry, he leaves bad taste in my mouth.
Right, we look so much alike, man. What's up, fellas?
But anyways, good morning to everyone out there watching us on social media. This is the Breakfast and BodySlam crew on the Devro Sports Show. A lot to get into. So right away, we got into WrestleMania talk. There was the biggest pay-per-view of them all. It's the WrestleMania Super Bowl. It's the Pro Wrestling Super Bowl, rather. And we got to kick it off. For me, anyway, it's the triple threat match for the heavyweight strap between Roman Reigns, Edge, and one Bryan Daniels. So
before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to run down the results for people who may not have seen it or heard about them. We're going to kick off with night one. We got to see Bobby Lashley beat Drew McIntyre to retain the WWE Championship. In match 2, Natalya and Tamina won a tag team turmoil match to become the #1 contenders to compete against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for night 2 for those tag titles. 3, Cesaro beat Seth Rollins in his very first WrestleMania singles match, so that was a big up for him. Thank you. I hear the cheers. Yes. I don't know if they're cheering for Cesaro or they're cheering for me running down the results.
No, I did for you.
I'll take it.
Pretty sure it's for Cesaro.
I'm pretty sure it's for Cesaro too.
Match 4 actually surprised me a little bit. AJ Styles and Omos beat the New Day for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And in a hell of a steel cage match, I think we all had oohs and ahs. Braun Strowman managed to beat the how you want to call him, the silver spoon in his mouth,
right, the golden kid.
Yeah, Shane O'Mac himself, Shane McMahon. Match 6 was my pick from the last show. That what I wanted to see was Bad Bunny and Damian Priest beat Miz and Morrison. We'll get back to that later on. Yeah. 7 was the surprise of the night. Bianca Belair pinned Sasha Banks to win the SmackDown Women's Championship, and that was the main event for night 1. Now going into night 2, Randy Orton beat The Fiend by RKO. You know, there was a little stuff going on there at the end, but like I said, we're going to pick our 3 matches that we're going to discuss. I don't know if that might be one of them because we have a whole night full of exciting matches. Now, match 2 to Tamina and Natalya, since they won that tag team turmoil match. Ugh, I don't use that word a lot. They actually lost to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I know that.
I'm so mad about that.
Yeah. So they managed to retain the women's tag team championships. In a hell of a match, Kevin Owens beat Sami Zayn, and pretty much at the end, we see a la Steve Austin as he stunned Logan Paul. Another one that surprised me that I didn't think he was going to lose the title right away was Sheamus beating Riddle for the U.S. Championship. Another guy that I was not surprised by, Apollo Crews, taking in the heritage of Nigeria and beating Big E in a Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental Championship, which was held by many, many champions, and the first being Pat Patterson, who won it in Rio de Janeiro in a tournament. God rest his soul. He just passed away not too long ago. Match 6 for night 2 was Rhea Ripley coming in and beating Asuka for the Raw Women's title. So she was ready for Asuka. And in the main event for night 2, Roman Reigns beat Edge and Daniel Bryan in a triple threat match to retain the Universal Championship. And with that being said, we're going to go back to Pat and your match of the night or out of the 2 nights that you wanted to discuss and talk about is
the one that's going to stand out to me is the Universal Championship. I mean, the triple threat match was a phenomenal match. I like the double crossface on Roman Reigns, and however, it's one of the few times where a heel walks out the victorious out of a triple threat after a babyface wins the big Royal Rumble, hopes and dreams, think about he's going to win the title, yada yada yada, and then he gets shut down by the Roman Reigns.
The rumor mill is that they changed that. That's what I heard. A friend of mine said throughout, the Reddit post and Discord, the rumor was he changed that on the fly. Vince changed that on the fly. Edge was supposed to get the win, supposedly.
Wow. Well, I mean, hey, look,
the story doesn't make sense if Edge wins, though. To me,
No,
it doesn't make sense.
it doesn't. It does because Edge came back from being taken away and not having the opportunity to go out his way. Now he's back. He's cleared. Vince lets him go out. You go to WrestleMania, you win. You're going to lose it at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, but the story looks better to me if a guy like Cesaro wins the Rumble and does, the magical run, because he looks like your typical blue-collar worker.
Yes.
Like we've mentioned before, and he looks like he works really hard, and if he goes out and gets the shot belt and goes over for it, that looks like the better call than a guy who's been around, who's done it all, who's seen it all, and everyone's like, oh, really? Like,
Yep.
This is who you have going over, and then it's like, and then you spice it up a little bit by throwing Daniel Bryan in there. It's like, okay, we'll see how this pans out. It's going to be a decent match, which it did.
Like, it was a great match. Like, it's, in my opinion, that was Roman Reigns getting a nod by 2, without a doubt, Hall of Famers in the ring with him.
Yeah.
We already know Edge is, but again, Daniel
you think
Bryan,
Daniel Bryan's
100%.
a Hall of Famer already?
No, he would be one day.
I do believe one day he's going to be a Hall of Famer in WWE.
Okay.
But you got 2 guys that one guy made his name on the independents and traveling the world before going to WWE. So we all know who he is. Edge made his career as a tag team competitor and went to the singles.
Right.
And you got Roman Reigns, where everybody hates because they feel like he's, Vince McMahon's puppet. The dude can work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The boy can go.
It's so funny. I feel like after he went over on Undertaker last year or the year before, and then him and Cena having that outgoing promo, whatever, that really made him, and then him siding with Paul Heyman, great work. I don't know if that was H's call. I don't know if that's Vince's call, but whoever came with that crazy,
I think it was Heyman's, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah, I agree with you.
If you think about it, Heyman made the comment, like, look, give me Brock Lesnar. I'm going to turn him into a star that you guys don't think he's going to be. And then I guarantee you, he was like, look, Roman, you want him to be the guy that they hate? Give me him. Give me Roman Reigns, because the fans are going to hate it.
I got to disagree. I have to disagree with that. I think what in Heyman's mind, the thought was, and we heard it in plenty of promos prior when he was still with Brock, that, hey, I'm really close with your family, with the Samoans and this and that. He knew all of them. So it only made sense to put Roman with him after Brock was gone.
And
it's history. They have history in the family.
And to me, like, okay, they tried the Sting thing with John Cena, where they trying to hold on to this guy being your baby face of the company for years. Sting was never had in WCW, not that I could recall, worked heel. So they try to make John Cena work face as long as he could. and the fans weren't buying into it. He doesn't. His best time isn't when he's on the mic. So when he's on the mic doing his thing, yeah, that's when he's over. But if he's not doing his rap battle and all that to his old gimmick, he's not over. But what the point I'm trying to make is with Roman Reigns, okay, he's not over as a babyface. But man, he let's go to the other extreme then and make him the greatest heel possible. And right now, I haven't seen a heel, since like the Triple H era of the early 2000s, who can get over like this guy. I mean, yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Seth Rollins or anything, or getting over his heels, but this kid's got it.
See, I think with Roman right now, his advantage is he has that mouthpiece of Paul Heyman that's killing it for him, and has Jey Uso. Now, when Jimmy comes back, that's going to be great. Got the both brothers, and then who knows, add some more if they go that route, which I don't think they're going to go that route.
Look,
at all.
In reality, I kind of want them to go the Samoan Dynasty route.
Yes, definitely.
I want them to add. Look, you got the twins. Okay, you got Roman. Who else can you add? That's in WWE right now.
You can take the two females and put
which
them.
One are they?
Naya and Tamina, which Tamina is Fiji, but she is family though.
Yes,
I would love Joe, even though Joe got let go. Oh man, I'm so upset that Samoa Joe got let go.
Oh, dude, 100%. That blew my mind when that happened.
And then for other family members who recently, maybe within the last, I would say 2 years that competed with WWE, you have Sean Maluta, who was in the cruiserweight tournament, classic, and as well, not too long ago, before the pandemic, you had Lance Anawai, the great Samu's son. He went one-on-one.
He did a bunch of things.
But the one that stand out was him going against Shane McMahon, and then Roman came in for the save. So right there is a couple heads right there that are young. They're still young, and they can go, and they can build off of them, as well as the next ones under the Usos. Could.
And to me, and Nate actually brought a good point. It's going to be like, okay, they get Jimmy back. They build around Roman being the centerpiece, whatever, the head guy, and then one of those guys. So you build up for like a year. You could bring Joe back, or you bring back The Rock for one night. And I know I'm not saying The Rock's going to win the belt, or whatever, but I mean something to break up that core. Because I mean, as much as I think Brock Lesnar's going to setting up for Brock Lesnar to come back and regain his champion, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody.
All right, jumping back into that particular match, I think we got a little off track there just talking about Roman.
yes.
But this is the thing. That's what makes us. That's why we have the most people talking about this talk show right now, because we might go off track, but we're giving so much good.
We're
info
the
out.
new trend. We're the new the hot thing going right now, I guess.
Yes, I 100% believe that. And listen, when we go off the rails, we come right back on it. We don't go right into the river.
All right, so jumping back on to that three-way match with Edge, I could have seen him going over, because when you look at it, the guy, he retired, he had the surgery, he came back, and I can see them and him being a little bit older, see him doing the whole George Foreman thing, which was taken also into was it Rocky Balboa movie?
Yeah,
that kind of scenario. Well, the older guy coming back, I can see them doing that
and hang with young lions.
Same thing with Daniel Bryan coming back, broken neck. He had the surgery. Then he has the history of competing in a WrestleMania main event against two big legends, Hall of Famers, H and Michaels.
Yes.
So I'm like, it could have went any direction whatsoever. And I agree with you that was a phenomenal match. I'm glad they put it on for the main, because then you also had that, we were talking in the chat during that night, and I said about Roman going over by a screw job, which we've seen the return of Jey Uso, because he got carried out earlier in the match.
I loved it. I loved it.
See, I would have been, for me, it would have been a nice surprise if it was Jimmy who came back
They wouldn't have told. They wouldn't have been able
Look,
to tell.
look, if that would've
Either way.
No, well, I'm saying if the outfits were different and stuff like that, because just for that moment
Right.
or whatever, or they both came out of nowhere, something like that. I would have been more hyped to see Jimmy doing the run in at the end.
Right. It's good. Like I said, the build up's there. So now let's dive a little bit about the other match. It looked really, really good. Is one Uso, Cesaro versus South Rollins.
Look, that in my opinion was the match of WrestleMania. Like that, if anything was close to it, in my opinion, was a triple threat match. Nothing else is going to compare because you get, and like we said earlier, Cesaro is a blue collar wrestler to a lot of us.
Yeah,
that is the guy that, again, started in the Indies, was always his back was always getting turned back around. They would never bring that guy to WWE. If it wasn't for Triple H, he probably would not be there.
See,
that's my personal
What
opinion.
is he missing?
Who?
Cesaro.
Nothing.
Are you
That's the
serious?
thing. Nothing.
He's missing something for me.
No.
He's missing something for me.
To me, I don't think he's missing anything. It's just he's trying to find himself, and that's what these guys need to do. They got to find themselves to make it over. Like as a fan, on my point of view, if I go to WWE to watch a show, if you don't give me something to believe when you're in that ring or in your entranceway, I'm not going to watch it.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So he's a great worker. We know he can go with anybody, right? And obviously, pound for pound, he's the strongest. So he can do and hit any of his moves on almost anybody. But what I'm saying, when he comes out, when he hits the ring, there's something missing from his presence.
Okay.
No, Nate, I have to disagree because in this modern era right now, Cesaro, he literally is our Bruno Sammartino of this era.
Well, I didn't see Bruno. I know who you're talking about, but I didn't see Bruno wrestle.
Yeah, but you got the he's an immigrant powerhouse guy who can wrestle. People are from all different kind of nationalities can get behind him. It's the American dream to come here and do something great. But the only thing that's missing is he's not getting that push he deserves.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
You don't think beating Seth? No, Seth. I think individually, Seth had a great match at WrestleMania.
It's a start. It's a start. It's long overdue.
Like being someone that I've been in the locker room with him. You were in the locker room with him the same show I was on for any. Yeah. And when he got there, the only thing he could think of, and I remember him walking in, he goes, "Anybody want to work out in the ring?" Now, me being from where I trained, he's been to the school where I trained. Him and Chris Hero have come there, and I can't work out with them. Like, I was going to throw up in the first 10 minutes of their cardio. Like, that is insane. Like, the start their warm up is insane. It's not even WWE style warm up. This is strictly blow up drills consistently, and I was dead after 10.
A lot of training those guys do. The ones that are on point, that are there, that are signed, are guys who do that European style of training.
It's CrossFit. It's
CrossFit. Japanese style too as well. I'm like, but they really go in hard.
Hold on. Dan, are you double fisting over there? I see 2 cans next to you.
Well, I already finished the one.
Right?
Okay.
Now,
give me a hell yeah.
Listen,
right.
This was a bad idea because as soon as I started drinking this one, man, my body was like, it shocked the system and it just threw me for a loop. I'm like, oh, all right, that's going to happen. But about the match, though, you're getting Seth Rollins. They're giving Cesaro this big opportunity. His first singles match in WWE in WrestleMania history for him. He's never had it. All of us are pulling for him. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, it's Seth Rollins. Is Vince going to give Cesaro the dub?
Well, this is his test.
Like, this was his test. Like, this is now not on television, not in some arena. This is an outdoor venue. You got 25,000 people in this building cheering you on. And when this match started, I'm thinking, okay, there's a 40% chance Cesaro is going to get the win. But I know he's going to go out there and kill it. I know Seth's going to go out there and kill it.
If Vince pushes him like we all hope he does, I personally am looking to see them go that old school route of putting the IC title on him
100%
for a good run, because history has shown back when we were growing up, the IC belt was the gold standard to the next level. and you had a lot of great matches. You have Brett with Perfect. Good. Well,
the list goes on.
well, just
Rick
Bret
Rude was
alone, just Bret Hart alone, the list was long.
Right.
Macho Man, the list was long with him too as well.
Don't forget about Ravishing Rick Rude.
Yeah.
Well,
depends.
Rick Rude had a good run. As
The-
a-
the-
I
Rick
the-
said.
had a great. I don't think a good run. I think he had a great
Great run,
run with
yeah.
that.
As champ, it all depends on who they put him with, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. But for guys that can go, like I said, Brett is my number one, always on top.
Okay.
Him and Macho Man be right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're just talking about Rude. Rude, it was my guy. He was my. That was my. Listen, now we're talking about the business. It's all right. But it was a guy I watched. He was someone I grew up watching. Rick Rude was the guy for me. I mean, to me, he had the belt. He had the mic piece. He could talk. He had Bobby Heenan. That whole thing just was successful. And the only thing would stop him is that, I mean, I don't know what. I mean, he should have been over, had a great couple matches with Hogan to get him to the next level. I mean, he was great. I mean,
So here's my question for you two. Ready? Because I already knew when Cesaro was going to win the match. I caught it, and I said it right to my girlfriend. I was like, Cesaro's winning. When did you know Cesaro was winning the match?
From the door.
From the door.
From the door.
I'm with him because.
What about you, big dog?
I knew he was going to win the match when he got the that one swing when he put Seth on his back. When he did that, I was like, okay, he's going over. But to see the story, like to me, the story made sense, right?
Yes.
The story made sense for Cesaro because if he loses that match, all the hype that the commentary put up that this was his first match at WrestleMania dies. Everything just gets just crushed. So it makes sense. And then, like you guys said, he's getting the push. I think on SmackDown he came out for Roman. And I think it was almost perfect that Roman was like, yo, who are you? And left. I love that.
Yes.
Loved it.
And Nate, you nailed on the head for me
Yes.
because it's funny because we're seeing him going out there and challenge Roman, yada, yada. The setup matches there with him and Jay. And then it's the cutoffs there by Roman or by Rollins. So now it looks like they're going to have another match for the next pay-per-view, whatever the case may be. And then I think it should build up to a SummerSlam kind of deal.
I'm going to say it this way. The match that put him on the map for Vince in Vince's eyes was him versus Sheamus. The very first match that everybody blew up the internet about. Go, oh my God, they just killed it. And it wasn't a pay-per-view match either. It was a regular Monday night.
Oh man.
I think that started him off a long time ago.
I don't know about that.
Was him and Sami Zayn back in NXT.
Well, no. That was, but that's not Vince.
Yeah,
that's Triple H.
I think what they could. I know what you're saying with Sheamus.
That
though,
Sheamus match when they beat the living piss out of each other.
I think
they also gave every fan the story of two friends beating the hell out of each other. Again, me and Pat stories when me and him wrestled. Like, we're friends.
Well, it goes along with like what you're saying about them beating the hell out of each other. Also seeing Sheamus and McIntyre going at it.
Yeah,
they beat the piss out of each other.
But that's the thing. Like when those two went at each other, everybody was like, "Oh wow, okay." That was the start, in my opinion. And then yes, they're giving it a shot. I knew before the match started that they were winning.
Well, not going on to Cesaro's point. I'm going off of Seth Rollins' point of view, where
Seth didn't need to win.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Seth didn't need to win.
It's him paying it forward to the like he had plenty of WrestleMania moments and stuff like that. He's giving back. He's helping the business grow by helping others grow.
Not to jump into the conversation here, but one of my trainers is now watching the show. One Johnny Greco from
Johnny boy.
Yes, from the old DWF.
Nothing but love for Johnny.
Oh my gosh! You want to talk about old school psychology? That man was he learned everything from Bunny and passed it down to me.
He's passed it on to me.
And
coming to the dungeon.
That guy for I guess like his mid-50s. I'm not trying.
Wow!
I'm not
put
trying
him out there like that.
I'm not trying. That's my guy. And listen, he's watching the show. He's appreciating it. I appreciate him for beating the crap out of me and teaching me the old school psychology. which most of you kids don't know. But anyway, back to the show here.
But yeah, so again, it's the it was the who needed to win the most, and it was Cesaro. In my opinion, as soon as they booked the match, I knew who was winning. It wasn't it's Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. Seth Rollins is going to win and go and, main event in the pay-per-view. No,
because
it was 100% Cesaro's time to shine. They're giving him it now.
It's that classic storyline where they have to. I hate when they give the fans that story to anybody, and then they kill it at the end where.
But here's the thing.
The good guy doesn't win or whatever,
Yes.
But the thing is, it's not a storyline for me. For me, it's more we're giving you the ball. You either are going to go with it and kill it, or you're going to drop it.
But I'm just I'm trying to describe it from the fans' point of view.
I get what you're saying. Like 100% agree with you. Like it's the story of how they pulled it all off was amazing because it was so emotional. Like when he got the dub, if you saw my Facebook post, immediately I went nuts.
Yes.
Like I'm at my house and the emotion that was in my body was real. Like all of us as wrestlers that have all known him and have seen all the guys that have struggled to get to that point, we all got to live that moment with him through it.
And
I literally had goosebumps talking about the match because it was that good and that was that emotional for me.
That goes countlessly for a lot of the guys that we shared locker rooms with, that we know, that we talk personally with. When we see them up there on the main stage, whether it's be the WWE main brand of Raw, SmackDown, and stuff like, or NXT, we feel like a little bit of part of us is there with them because. By one form or another, somebody somewhere touched someone's life in a good way.
And
you may not have trained a person to get there, but maybe you gave some wisdom and knowledge on the backside, whatever.
And just to feed off your point too, Chio, it's like, okay, for instance, Drew Golick is the guy I went to before he became a worker. I knew him when he went to Northeast High School, and I was going to Lincoln. Like, me and him were hanging in my basement, talking, shooting the breeze, and all that stuff. Like, I knew him before he was telling me he was going to become a pro wrestler. So when he went to the CZW Academy, I said, good, I'm going to go to DWF with Johnny Greco. So, but it's funny, like, again, me and him shared plenty of wisdom.
Yep.
Me, him, and his brother, and we shared plenty of locker rooms. We sat there, and then it's like I see him there. It's just like, part of me, like you were just saying, like part of me there. And even with, Adam Cole. Adam Cole's another, great kid, nicest guy, nicest kid. I did plenty of shows with him, plenty of locker rooms, and it's just like now I see him taking over the world in NXT. And it's just like, and I almost want to share a tear because I'm like, I've been there with him. I've seen him do this.
We all saw it start from the ground up.
Right.
That's the beautiful part about it.
And you know what's funny? I like to give big ups to two guys who are working for the big machine that never ever tried to superstar me whatsoever. That once in a while I might make a comment online, they respond, whatever, we talk, whatever. One is Lindsay Dorado, because
100% that dude is still he will always never be a big guy. And I don't mean like that. I mean like he's never going to get that head. That he's never going to get this.
Well, what I'm saying is because I was fortunate enough to work with him before he was Lindsay under the mask. So I got to see who he was before that. So I'm not going to put it out there, but he's a great guy. And then the other one who sometimes by accident or something, I don't know if it's accident or whatever, but we end up having some messenger conversations once in a while, me and Robert Stone. When he was back then, Rob Echoes when he trained with IWF. Great guy. He's doing great for himself. Opened up a gym with his family. He has the twins and stuff like that. I'm happy for him. And him transcending from as a wrestler to a manager down there. It's beautifully done. And I'm gonna say it. I am a Robert Stone guy.
Look. Yes. And I'm glad you said, because he's like another one. His head didn't blow up. He checks into this show, and he likes us. I remember me and my buddy Eddie were just talking sports before I even got the studio here, and he was checking in, and he was like, me and him, like I said, it's not here with him. It's cool that he's checking in. You're like, oh, cool. Look, a name's checking it out. And another person is really cool is Mercedes.
Yeah.
My wife's good friends with her. They went to WXW together. Another one. Her head doesn't blow up. She's cool. As cool as could be.
Mia Lim's another one.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like if we would really dig into like what stars on all products, on all companies
that we know from
head,
years ago
that don't got the big head.
Oh yeah.
If we talk about the Machine, I'll tell you right now, these aren't even wrestlers. They're refs. Jessica, which everybody gets to see on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views now. And then Sean Bennett.
And then
the best one is?
Well,
I'll tell you the best one. He used to ref for Impact. He's now with WWE. His name is Rudy. We would literally, when I lived there in Orlando, we would literally start chanting Rudy because, me being a fan, of football, I wanted to chant it. Yes. And he would come out and literally start getting the crowd to go for the show.
Well, that's great.
What refs get the crowd going?
Right.
Let's be real. None. And there's not many of them. He was more about being for the fans because we loved the guy.
Right.
Three refs right there that work for the Vince besides Stefan.
Yeah. And I think that's what it's all about. It's not having that big head thinking, I'm better than you because I'm here or there.
Yeah.
Or I'm pretty sure, and like I said, I worked with you guys. I've been in the locker room with you guys. I never had that persona of, I'm this young kid. I'm going to tend that. No, because that's how you get punched in the mouth around there.
I won't lie. I was a young kid and I got cocky in the beginning. I won't lie, and I got the living hell beat out of me for it. Like and this isn't on anybody's fault but mine. And I know Chio's heard the story. When I first started, I was wrestling. Maybe 6 months in, I got trained. I was already starting to doing manager roles. I was booked every weekend, every week. Boom, 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 boom. Finally got to have a match, and my head got here. I was like, I'm star. I'm like less than 2 years, and I'm working every weekend. You guys are like working twice a month. Screw y'all. And it wasn't on anybody's fault. I didn't know better. Like that was the thing. No one ever told me, like, look, these are opportunities. This isn't because you're good. You're proving that you're good. You're showing that you're committed and you're loyal.
I was fortunately to to learn from Greco and all those guys saying, hey, listen, you follow the ratio, you got 2 ears, one mouth. Keep your ears open, your mouth closed. So when you're in there with the veterans, you just let them guide you.
And it wasn't the Mess Brothers' fault or Captain Rick Adams' fault. This was just on me. Like, and they kept telling me, like, hey man, chill a little bit. They would beat me up in training. I would learn that way. But then the one show, I got rocked. And we got to the locker room, and the promoter goes, that's because you're acting like you're a big star and you're nobody. You're still a little piece of shit. And I'm like, okay.
And then you learned your lesson.
Yeah,
and Nate Von Tassel, thank you very much. Jason Havoc, thank you. I love y'all.
Jumping back onto our WrestleMania list, my pick from the last one, I wanted to see Miz destroy Bad Bunny, and it was going to be a singles match. It was going to be a single, but then they turned it into a tag match, which thank God they did.
Right.
Because I think when celebrities are out there, the rest of the crew is carrying them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was surprised in this one. They really didn't carry him. They were supporting actors.
Yes.
All together, because Bad Bunny actually put the work in.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. Another one who was just like that was Stephen Amell.
Right.
When he came in, he was a celebrity who actually put the work in before they had the match.
But they loved those two love wrestling. That's the difference. They know what has to be done to get those fans to enjoy their match, or they're gonna crap all over you.
And the thing is, I was crapping all over.
We all were.
We're crapping all over Bad Bunny.
Let's be real. Every wrestler and every fan was making jokes about this match happening.
I was crapping all over him the same way we crapped on Miz when he came in at first.
I did.
Well, I did. Well, and then
y'all did. I was happy about that choice.
And then he put the work and he showed and he got my props. And then Bad Bunny, right now, I was crapping all over him. Now he has my props of him putting in the work and doing this, but I was crapping because I didn't like his music.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't that he didn't think he was going to do anything.
And right now, I have to say, I still don't like his music. No. but I would say he's more than welcome to show me again what else he can do in the ring. I was impressed. He put the work in. I give him a thumbs up for that. And as far as celebrity wise goes in the business, I don't think really celebrities should interject themselves into wrestling unless they're actually going to do what he did, Stephen
Yes.
Amell did, as well as David Arquette currently.
Yes.
Not his first run in WCW. Not that bull.
Not ready to rumble.
This David
Not
Arquette.
that bullshit he
Yeah,
did.
no.
I don't know if you watched his documentary
I have
they
not
put
yet.
out.
I have not
It
yet.
was really excellent.
You're not the only person. I think Deppen posted something good about it. I think a couple other guys I have. I got to watch it, but I work so
Yeah.
much. I don't even get a chance to sleep or poop. I'm just saying.
Watching him go and work a bullshit backyard show. No, literally at someone's house, a bullshit backyard show just to get work.
I can believe it.
And for the abuse he put his body through, I don't know how much he's getting paid for it at the time. I don't know if he's just going in, probably not getting none. He's probably doing it the same way as everyone else, just going in, getting nothing really. But if they paid him, hey, great for him. But like I said, he's putting the work in, abusing his body like a lot of us do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the game. I mean, like, I get it now. Like AEW's bringing in Shaq again for the, we've seen that story.
Tyson.
And Tyson
And literally, I like the role with Tyson. He's just an outside enforcer. But the whole Shaq thing, him,
yeah, but
and
They're doing it for one reason and one reason only.
yeah.
publicity. But I get it. But look, but that show's been done before. Like the Shaq has been done 30 years ago.
Well, it's not just it's a PR thing, but there's another reason. It's
Now-
because Vince wouldn't book Big Show versus Shaq. That in my opinion, I want to kind of see that match.
What
As a fan standpoint, I want to see that match.
honestly, what I
like
want
10
to
years
see,
ago.
Yes. I mean, look. Nate brought a good point. I mean, I'm not trying, go off the rails here, but again, like I'm watching TNA. This has nothing to do with it, but they still bring in guys like Scott Steiner and Jazz. It's just like that name was hot 20 years ago. And look, I mean, for guys like me who would have popped, oh, cool, I get to work Scott Steiner. But we're not talking about Scott Steiner of 99 when he's Big Daddy Pump. He could throw me around a ring. I mean, let's be real now. This is a grandpa Scott Steiner. I mean, he's walking here with limps and stuff. I mean, he's got bad wheels.
now,
I understand.
the thing I want to see, I don't know if anybody out there in the world who is listening to us or if any of you has anybody seen any footage or anything of Bow Wow's training.
No.
No.
He really is training though.
because
You
No,
talking
he
about,
really
you
is.
talking about Little Bow Wow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Bow Wow is
'Cause-
legit training to be a professional wrestler for WWE.
with supposedly with Knox
Oh,
Pro
yeah.
with Rikishi,
Rikishi, I
because
saw that.
he talked all that smack on Twitter and stuff to people about
when my
if-
rapid career is over, I'm going to get into wrestling. And then all the wrestlers blew him up, going like, if you're going to do this, don't talk it, do it.
yeah, and
So
and
where
the
did
thing-
he go? He went right to if you live out in California or anywhere out there and you want to learn professional wrestling, there's only two schools out that way I would recommend to. Rikishi's and Santino's.
I was thinking that Santino's.
I don't know if they have their new building yet
I
for
believe
training.
they do. I believe
but
they do.
If anybody that is watching this wants to know who the Santino brothers are, go on YouTube, type in Santino Brothers Wrestling, and you will see some of the most mind-blowing training and helping you get better in this sport. Period.
I believe right now, I think I still have them. I think they still have their .com and stuff like that, their
Okay.
link or whatever. But if you were interested to quickly find it, if you go to BodySlams.pro, my website, I actually advertise wrestling schools on there, and it is
man.
that's our cheap
Look at
plug.
this, man.
The cheap
I
plug.
like it. I love it.
And
I
it's
like it.
actually advertised on there, Santino Brothers, as well as a bunch of array of different other schools as well, ones that we are all familiar of,
Mhm.
and then some of in other states and stuff like that
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, you can check that out for schools. If anyone is interesting.
But I don't want to see any videos of his training, and this is why I want to be surprised. If he's seriously going to do it and he has a match,
Yeah, but here goes.
I want to be surprised.
I get why he's going to go right to the top because of the name and he's the
Yeah.
publicity stuff. But I mean, a lot of guys are going to be angry with that.
Or
because-
maybe he goes, I don't want that route. Maybe I'm not saying it could happen, but the little doubt in me wants to go, maybe he wants to learn how to work the proper way and get there and work his way up.
he's not going to do that. He's
He's
young, and he's going to go right to the top. I mean, look. If anything, that helps that indie school put that.
yes,
in.
because it just took
Well-
Little Bow Wow to the main top.
And
But
that helps
again, that's my opinion.
What I was gonna say is, what celebrity that you think that did a good job in promoting themselves in the wrestling business in a wide range?
Well, I in a wild range, like the setup with the LT and Bam Bam was pretty decent. That WrestleMania match, because the wide range of it, I mean, the build up and all that stuff, and it turned out to be the lumberjacks with the old former players, my man Reggie White, and it got all for the worst worker of all time, Mongo McMichael. But that to me was probably like the setup, because like I was surprised LT could move as a worker. I mean, he probably had some extra juice in his tank, but I mean, he could work.
Oh, it was a great one, especially with we got someone like Bam Bam out there to work with, a big guy like that who can actually move.
Yes.
And made it so believable, especially the build up with the whole shove in the crowd, like when they first started it, the whole attitude stuff. And then
the funny part about it is like my brother comes running, and he's older than me, by the way, but he comes running down the steps. He goes, "Dad, look, they're gonna fist fight LT and Bam Bam. Look at my dad was like, yeah, then they're going to the bar right after that, son."
The best thing that I love about those moments is when they have their entourage. And the entourage is not in on the stuff, and they go buck wild crazy.
Remember the Mike Tyson one?
Oh, yeah.
For back in the day, WWF at the time.
They were Austin.
With Austin.
Yes.
Tyson came out with his full crew.
Yeah.
Not like 2 or 3 guys. Vince is like, no, bring your whole posse. You filled the ring with his posse.
I mean, look at the Floyd Mayweather thing. I mean, versus Big Show. I mean, this is like Dave versus Goliath, and he had like 20 men of his entourage. I mean, it was great. So
Floyd doesn't get enough respect for that match. I don't think.
Does not.
No, he
doesn't. It was a good match.
He
got chopped.
He got chopped too. He took a chop.
Listen, that hurt me watching that. That's a small man with a big dude's hand coming across. Like, Big Show's hand is the size of Floyd's face, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm a small dude. If I would see a hand come like that towards my chest, I'm probably going to cry on impact. I'm sorry. And the reason I say that is I've been chopped by Mark Mess. You've been chopped by Mark Mess.
Patch.
Patch.
Okay, listen,
honestly,
I never took that one.
No, I have to say, Patch was one of the hardest ones I ever took, but the hardest chop to this day, I'm always going to say this, I give the guy recognition every time I see him or talk online or whatever.
I'm waiting for it.
Is Biggie Biggs.
Oh, I thought you were going to go downtown Raphael, the legend.
Biggie Biggs. Oh my God. We had a chop fest battle royal where all you did was chop, and the way you get eliminated is you eliminate yourself. If you can't handle it, get out. But the program was, they had their final 4 picked out. But before that, if you can't take it, just leave the ring.
I don't know what indie.
No.
I don't know what indie. No. I don't know what indie show doesn't in the battle royal is not a chop fest. I mean, you're literally going in there.
No punch, no kicks. Yes. Everything is just chop
and thrown over the ropes.
Like, could you just? I'm gonna throw 4 names out there, okay? And if you put me, Rob Prefontaine, Biggie Biggs, and Mark Mess in there with chops, I'm sorry. Because I learned from the Mess brothers, and they taught me how to chop by chopping a wall.
Hey, listen, I was glad Rob Prefontaine was my tag partner. Okay. I saw that boy.
Let's add 5. I forgot one person. Who would you put?
Well, as your 5th?
As the 5th.
Oh man,
on the chopping block. I like it.
Who would you put as a 5th in a chop fight?
That's a tough one there, because not being around a lot currently. I don't know who's on the rise.
It could be anybody that from your.
I got one. Tom Brady.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, good. Good call.
Ouch.
Good call.
Those hurt. Those are no joke chops.
Like it's crazy. Like short story real fast. So like when I went to a battle royal, and so I'm walking in there and I see Patch smiling coming towards me. I said, "Oh, here we go. Here we go." I'm like, "Oh boy, I'm gonna start praying." And like he's giggling. I'm like, "Patch." Like he's done it just in tag matches just to laugh at him.
Oh, I got a good one for you. A story with Patch. It was me, and Tommy Golden versus Patch and JoJo. We were in Boyertown for Rick Adams' show. We did a tag match.
Was it Boyertown? Was that Birdsboro?
Birdsboro, probably.
Okay, yeah,
it was
'cause
at the skating rink. It was a skating rink.
Oh, okay. No. So
So-
that was Boyertown then.
So we're in there. Me and Patch slams me, this and that, and picks my shirt up. Chops me on the stomach area, like right below my chest. Golden, like a jackass in the corner. Is that all you got? My partner can take more than that. So as he's standing at my head, reaches down, chops me across the face on one side.
Oh,
Golden's egging him on. Oh, is that it? That's weak. We can take more. Chops me on the other side. Wow, I'm like, shut the up, Golden. I'm like, you heard that.
I got that beat.
But payback is up because when Golden was in and he's pinning Patch, JoJo, for some reason, he brought his towel to the ring with him, and he reaches in and slingshots it in, catches him right in the corner of the eye with the towel. He whipped him. So payback for that. But
Before I get into my thing, since we're discussing WrestleMania, and we all know we all go everywhere,
and we're off topic
Yes,
right
yes.
now.
so we've already discussed every one of our matches that we thought was the winner of the night.
What? But before you discuss, I'm gonna say my pick of the celebrity thing that wide range.
No.
Real
I
quick.
didn't pick mine yet either. So
Oh, okay.
No,
All
no.
right. I'm just gonna say Insane Clown Posse.
oh!
I can't hate that. That was a good build.
That's you know why?
They
you know
promoted
why?
the hell out of that.
No, not out of that, out of themselves, because they ECW, WCW, WWE, was they in TNA too,
Yes.
right?
They've
TNA,
hit every promotion besides
their own
one.
promotion.
They haven't hit one.
They do
Please don't
pay-per-view.
do it. Please don't put them on the other promotion.
Wait, did they say Ring of Honor? No, they never did.
No. I'm talking about major. I'm not hating
ma-
ROH or anything.
And they
but
have their own promotion. And was they over in Japan too?
I don't know.
But they pretty much hit like the big ones around the US right there. So like they're like what the hell?
I worked for them, believe it or not. Thanks to the Night 9 Jerry Nightmare, God rest his soul, Aaron.
Love you, Aaron.
But he got me booked on their show. And I was like, it's down to the Electric Factory. It's me, Shaheem, and somebody else. I forget his name. Person working a woman who's 7 foot tall. He was on the Cubs going to Nexus, but something went haywire there, and she's no longer there. But however, I said, you got to be kidding me. And then they're asking, like, you want to go on a road with us? I'm thinking about it. And then they're like, well, what's your name? And all that. But then I was like, nah. And then but yeah, getting a chance to work for them down at the Electric Factory, in front of thousands of people getting cursed out and beer cups thrown at me. I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? I enjoyed it.
I missed out on so many occasions to meet those guys, like in my area, because whether work or something had to do with it. And it was like, damn, I never got the chance to see them actually perform. And when they showed up at FWF by surprise up there in Palo Alto near Pottsville, it was literally, they can tell the story better, the owners.
Yeah.
It was pretty much like they get a phone call or something like that. Hey, we're on the tour bus. We got Insane Clown Posse. And they're thinking, oh, yeah, right. Okay, this is bullshit. And this is right before the show starts. Next thing you know, they say they see these tour buses pulling up in the parking lot early on before the doors open up and all that stuff. Like, yo, we got to get security now. Like, what the hell? Out of nowhere, I guess ICP was just doing the work because I guess when they were on tour, they were just looking up to see what shows are going on in the area.
Yeah.
And
But-
back to your story, you were saying?
No, I got something I want to fill in. But yeah, you got go with your celebrity.
So
'cause I
my
got one.
celebrity will always be, hands down, Stephen Amell. In my opinion, the reason I like it better.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I got somebody.
The reason I think, like, I have like a list of celebrities I think promoted the show, promoted it the right way, and did the work to get there. Stephen Amell, huge wrestling fan. Everybody was talking about it. He kept pushing it, and it wasn't that they were making video packages. It was Twitter. It's that Twitter war that started it all. And they continued it and continued it and continued it. Then he shows up on Raw. No one knew he was going to be sitting ringside of Raw. And then he was there. And it was like, they're not going to allow this to happen. And they did. Stephen Amell hops the guardrail like there's no issue, hops in the ring, is like, what's up? You're going to push me. I'm going to come at you like a real person. Because in real life, if you push a fan, that fan most likely is going to hop that guardrail and go and punch you in your face. So they made it so realistic at that point. And then they went out there and killed it. Like that, in my opinion, that was a great build-up, a great story. It ended, in my opinion, they ended it way too quick. They could have did a couple more things because Stephen Amell put the work in for it, but that was me.
I'm glad that him and Cody's work continued on beyond WWE.
Yes.
Beyond. And when you see, like, he even got a ring, he put it at his place, and, you know, for training there too as well. And he's still promoting stuff, wrestling stuff to this day.
He always will. He's part of AEW. I'm just gonna throw it in there.
The one guy who stands out to me, and he's like 70 still working, is Ken Shamrock.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, I seen something recently of him. Training, doing a seminar or something.
It's amazing to me. Like, I thought, okay, he had his run WWE, he's going to retire, or he might go back to MMA, whatever the case may be. No, like, he's still hanging around, working. Like, it's great to me. I'm like, wow, like, he's still in TNA and all this other stuff. Okay. I thought you were bringing out donuts out there.
I thought he was leaving us there.
My phone is dying, and I'm live streaming from there.
Okay, gotcha.
I like it. Yeah, there you go.
Do we have a time check on us right now?
Yeah, we're still good.
You know, you're still good.
Okay,
I'm still, Pat. I'm still waiting for your
because-
WrestleMania match because y'all didn't went back to locker room conversations.
No, I actually we did. We hit
did,
our 3 WrestleMania. Or you mean our greatest WrestleMania match?
No. I don't think I heard Pat's best WrestleMania match.
The
best.
I kicked it off with the triple threat.
I'm sorry, I missed that. No.
Now, what'd you guys take though for the women's title match? I mean, it got a main event, and I thought it worked out well. I'm personally not a fan of Sasha Banks. I don't think she could work that great. So
really, you don't think she's a good worker? You don't think she puts on good matches at all? Or being a fan, because I don't know on the other side of the glass, is there a difference between being a good worker and putting on a good match?
No, it's kind of even. I mean, if you it's an even walk because you could be a great worker. I mean, like I saw her in a couple things. It's just like it shakes my head. Like for instance, the one thing she did, I noticed, even though it's just the Battle Royal Rumble, whatever, a few years back, she's got Trish Stratus in the corner. She's, trying to do like the mud hole stop, and she's like watching the entrance, who's coming down, and she's not even making contact with the stomps. I'm like, yo, like, don't worry about who's coming down the ramp. Stomp,
Just worry about your craft.
Yes. So there's things about her game that I scratch my head. I do like Charlotte. The girl who just went over. Why can't I just think? But she can work. She's big. Bianca. She can work.
That was so telegraphed. There was no way she was losing.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, but she's an ultra athlete, just like Flair is. Like, I think Flair, obviously the name, comes along with that. So, that was given. She's just born in it. But Bianca, just what she can do in the ring. I think her mic skills need a little bit of work to me.
Definitely.
But what she can do in a ring, there's not a lot of girls, if any girls out in my head outside of Charlotte, that can do what she can do in a ring.
I think the number one thing that told me Bianca was going over now was when Sasha dove out the ring, Bianca caught her, threw her on her shoulders, and carried her up the steps.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen a guy do that either.
Listen,
I was like, holy shit.
When I saw her do that, and my girlfriend is sitting out there in the room listening to this.
Shout out to the girlfriend in the lobby.
Huge for that. I'm like, holy hell. Like, we all knew she's strong. Let's be real. We all know she's a strong woman. She can do things that most of the women in that locker room can't do.
Right, or I.
Like, and when she did that, that was the highlight of that match. And one of the highlights of that match, from my opinion. And yes, I understand where Pat you're coming from, where you feel about Sasha. I think honestly that was one of Sasha's best matches because she had someone in that ring that is just as talented as her, someone that she's never really worked. It's not a Charlotte, it's not a Becky, it's not a Ronda, it's not Naomi, it's not one she's ever really worked. So she didn't go to NXT and work her. You know what I mean? She was in a different bracket. This is their first time they face each other. They did the tag stuff, woohoo, cool. But this is the first one-on-one match that she's ever actually stepped in the ring with, I believe. And it didn't show that they were uncomfortable with each other. They went in there and they actually flowed perfectly and beautifully.
Well, I mean, I would have to give the practice and the prep work for it. I imagine they would have to lock up, prior to. But I mean, look, if that stuff's flowing and crafting, hey, run with it and go with it. And the girl deserves, Bianca deserves her time.
Yes.
I mean, she's another one of those. You see right out of the gym, like, okay, she's going to dominate. Like, you see like a billion of her walking out LA Fitness and it's like, wow, she's got it. She's got the look and all that stuff. So, kudos to her. And that's one thing about Stephanie McMahon that she is pushing the women more and more to get over and put them in these main event spots where, we've been watching wrestling and been around this game for a long time. Women would never get this kind of push, but Stephanie's doing all her willpower to push the women.
Yeah.
So I got to give Stephanie her due.
Biggest disappointment of WrestleMania weekend, in my opinion, was Natalya and Tamina not getting the W on night 2. And the reason is because those two ladies have been killing it and busting their hump for how many years for that company?
Mm-hmm.
They deserve that moment.
I
they got that moment on night 1. That was a moment that, in my opinion, was amazing. I loved seeing that happen. But I wanted to see them get the win, get the tag straps. Do they need them? No. They don't need them. They don't. But would it have been nice to see them get that little nudge like, hey,
that acknowledgement.
This is your acknowledgement that you guys have earned this. You deserve this. This is yours. Go get it.
I think what they should have done was still put them over, but not for the titles, like some kind of hook or crook thing where count out, disqualification, something. So it was still justified. They got the victory, but they didn't get the belt.
Yes.
They got the acknowledgement by getting win on night 1. They got the acknowledgement and respect and credit on night 2, where they got the be on WrestleMania. I just think they should have got the W. And then again, that is just my personal opinion, not a professional opinion. Personal opinion, I would have loved to see them get the win. So that was the biggest disappointment for me for WrestleMania weekend.
And I'm a huge fan of the women's division for the last since the evolution really started, because then you pretty much had trainers and coaches behind the scenes who are pushing them. Like you had Sarah Del Rey in NXT. In WWE at the time, you had, I believe, Dean Malenko was schooling them as well. I'm not sure. Is Finley doing anything?
I'm not sure.
I think I heard something about Finley working with the women. But like I said, when I heard Malenko was involved with the women's division, and then you seen how they all started to progress and get better and this and that, and they're doing stuff like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, then you knew his touch was there. But then now with him leaving and some of the girls who I honestly feel that they don't deserve the push that they're getting is ones like Carmella. I don't feel like she's up to par. Yeah, she has some stuff, but she's not on that same like Sasha or Bianca. She the athletic wise and stuff like that of that go. Even Bailey's good. I'm saying, and even Lana, definitely Lana.
Look,
they're trying so hard.
Hold on, you just say Lana?
They put her as a no go.
Oh, okay.
They put her with not Naomi,
right?
To help get her over.
That's like an anchor for Naomi.
I don't really think it's to help her get her over. I think it's to help her get better in the ring wise. Lana can get over. That's not the problem.
She missed a couple spots. Did you see that? She missed a bit. It was a lot of spots she missed at WrestleMania.
We can discuss botches after this. I won't.
I would say, you know what? She deserves tons of credit because
Yes.
he knows Carmella, and and he knows 3-4 years down past. But anyone that has the guts to lock lips with Jimmy Dreams or Jimmy, you deserve to get pushed. Okay, anybody who wants to make out with Jimmy Dreams, you got you got the green light from me.
And for the ones who don't know who Jimmy Dreams is, that was Ellsworth.
Jim's Ellsworth.
No chin. And that's the only reason why he got the job, for not having a chin.
Right, and taking a savage beating from Braun. But listen, before we get out of here real fast, I do want to set out there. I mean, I want to touch on this, fellas. What comes to your top when it comes to WrestleMania itself? What is the number one match that comes to you? If you had a Mount Rushmore WrestleMania matches, I mean, there's
I got one. Easy.
I already know it.
Yeah, I already know it too.
Nate, we'll start with you.
We'll start with it's because I was a childhood fan. It's definitely Warrior Hogan. Easy.
Okay.
Definitely Warrior Hogan, because in that time, obviously we all know Hogan was the golden goose and he just didn't lose. And to see Warrior get over and beat him, I think I ran up and down the steps as a kid because I had, the old school dolls that had the big arms that went like this. Like the old school little dolls. I had an Ultimate Warrior one when I was a kid, man, and I was a big Warrior fan. Looking at it work now, being older, you can see how bad he was, but but like at that time period, and then with the fireworks in the back when they really didn't do pyro and stuff, like that always in my head, Warrior beating Hogan was probably is my probably top match. And definitely Shawn and Taker, because I saw that in the older, was another one, but definitely because it's a childhood thing, definitely Warrior Hogan. Easy.
Yes.
I have two.
Yeah.
I can't pick which one's the best, but they're a tie in my opinion.
Let me guess. Kane versus Pete Rose.
No.
Okay.
And the thing is, I was at both of these WrestleManias in person. Rock versus Hogan in Toronto. Without a doubt, the most amazing match you'll ever see because no one knew who to root for.
Was that crowd that crazy? Was it?
Listen,
just as...
I'm going to say when you watch it on TV or on that videos, no justice is given. My cousin's watching this and he can verify. We were in all the way up the nosebleed. The sound that came out of those fans in Toronto was amazing.
Yeah, they do say that's the biggest pop. Like that's one of, if not the biggest pop.
Like The Rock talks about that match. Hogan talks about the match. They did not expect Hogan to come out.
Yeah,
to
you're
the
in
pop
Jurassic
that
Park.
Got. Like you have literally the torch passing right there. That's literally what that match was. It was the torch passing to The Rock going, it's your time, kid. Go do what you've already been doing for years. Next match would be Triple H, Taker, Hell in a Cell, Miami.
Which one? The one with Shawn as the ref?
Shawn as the referee.
That was very emotional for me. I literally cried at the end.
Look,
really?
Yeah,
now,
when they were on the stage.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that video clip, Pat. Really?
When they were on the stage at the end, when they were on the stage all together, that's so from a worker's point of view, you see the passion and all that what they put into it, and then at the end, them all three, it going off air of them right there at the end,
and it told you this was the end of the era.
It wasn't quite
supposed
that.
To be.
It
was supposed to be. But here's why. Okay, now we've all been in the link before, right?
Yes.
My seats for that event with some other friends were sitting literally 5 rows from the roof.
Wow.
The chair shots, you could hear them before through the speakers. When I say I cringed from the chair shots, I cringed from the chair shots. Like I heard them before the PA system even had them. That match was everything for me. I'm a kid. I was a fan of The Rock. I was a fan of Hogan. But my all-time favorite was always Taker and Triple H. It will always be two of my favorite wrestlers all time to the day I die. So to see that match in person and say it was going to be the end of an era, I'm thinking this is the last time these two gentlemen are going to be in the ring. That's it. This is it. I'm calling it it. And then having Shawn in there made it even more special because all the history between all three of them is even more powerful. So now there's more emotion and more story involved. And now you're making it a Hell in a Cell because let's be real, Taker made Hell in a Cell. That's his home. So we're going to go into Taker's home now. So that's how I'm like, all right, now I'm in Taker's house. and then they ended it the way they ended it. Like you thought, oh my God, Shawn Michaels going to help Triple H win. That's going to be it. The streak's going to end, and Shawn Michaels helps, but still didn't get the win. And then they, like how you said, they walked up the ramp together. That hug, that them turn around to look at the fans, that was the icing on the cake. It wasn't how the match ended. It was the ending on the ramp. In my opinion, that certified that as one of the best WrestleMania endings and matches in their history.
And one of the things was the emotional part with Shawn's face when he's in there and he's doing the count.
Yeah,
and they kick out, and he falls in the corner, and he's like, "Did you know, like he almost went to cry right there."
Watch Undertaker's special on the network, and he talks about that. Him and Triple H, neither one of them knew what just happened. They said they know they kicked out. They heard the reaction. They didn't know how Shawn reacted until they watched it on camera. They go, "That right there made that kick out so much more special." And so much more.
You can do all the moves you want in the ring, but those small little details
is key.
And the expression on people's faces, like you can see what it is.
Now I'll quickly go over mine. One, it's got to be Brett and Shawn, Iron Man, 60 Minutes, two of the best at the time. You know, the WWE has finally moved on from the Hogan and Savage era. Look, they marked it, they made fun of it, but I mean, Shawn and Brett at the top, top of their game, two guys who come from tag team wrestling, building their career from intercontinental guys, building all the way up, getting in square one-on-one, and for 60 minutes, they won at it. And there was, and the best of the best. And then, Shawn goes over, the kid who dreamed, finally beat, one of the best in the world. So that one there, I have there. Two, I would have, obviously, Steamboat and Savage. I WrestleMania 3. I mean, classic. That was like your first ever. It wasn't old school, but I mean, they were working. They were going move for move, pound for pound. You didn't really see that yet. You didn't really get that kind of wrestling yet. And the one recent one I popped for was Triple H versus Sting. Why? Because if you pay attention, well, I know you guys, but they worked old school. They shined the baby, just the way we were taught. Whatever. They worked at old school, and then they brought the two old school factions. One that came out with DX, the other one came with NWO. Beautiful. I don't know why Sting was in Philly with NWO because he hated the NWO.
I was waiting for a musical to break out during that scene. I thought it was the Jets and the Sharks, like West Side Story type thing.
Like I know we're all live on our own things, and I know people are probably like, "Why Dennis is calling a big dog?" And we're laughing. He was just playing some NWA music.
Yes.
Just brace yourself. Like y'all can't hear what we can hear in here, but there's other people, so it's good.
They can listen through the live feed, but
my two that I have is.
You got to be old school, man.
Sure.
Chio. You got to go back.
Well, okay. Well, let's start off with what I'm wearing.
Yes,
right.
The classic.
Andre Hogan.
Yes.
Andre Hogan versus the Boss. Andre did not have to give Hogan that match if he didn't want to.
And he didn't have to give Hogan that body slam either.
He passed that torch. But Andre got slammed so many years prior to that.
I know, again, it's not Hogan, though.
That there was etched in stone in history because of the buildup and what it was meant to everyone out there.
Yes.
And the thing is, I went back and rewatched it. I think it was like a week or two ago. And I literally got emotional for Andre because when you watch the Andre story about him and his health and his size and how he's like barely can walk. And when you really take that into factor and you really watch the match slowly and you watch Andre, like how just his mannerism, the way he's moving around, this and that is like, he's like, his health is bad and he's out there in the main event doing the deed of passing his torch to Hogan at the time, and like I said, that there got me teared up. And like I even named my guinea pig after him. I got Andre the Guinea at home because he was the biggest one in the pet shop. Right. And the way his colors, the colors on him, white and like a gray black, it falls like the singlet that goes sideways. Like, yes. So I named him Andre the Guinea after him.
And I got to give it, I mean, for when people hear us like, oh, why would you want to watch wrestling, blah, blah. When you could sell out 93,000 for that main to see, and by the way, we'll have to get into the next show. Bobby Heenan, to me, the greatest manager of all time. The way he could work the mic and the way he was, taking his jabs at Hogan, and you would get your hands on Heenan, but he's got the big guy, and Hogan's got to climb this mountain. I mean, the story was set, and it was epic. Great.
There was none other family like Bobby Heenan's, because Bobby Heenan's family had a wide array of different talent, different looks. When you look at other like groups and factions and stuff like that, they kind of mimic each other. They kind of like they're not the same, but they kind of look like, you had the Horsemen, you got all these different groups who come together, but they all kind of play off of each other with their looks. Here, his was spread out across the board.
So here we go. How about for the next show? Okay, I'm going to throw this out there because us three, I know you managers? Two guys. Let's discuss. Let's all of us pick our top 3 managers, top 3 factions, and I want anybody that's been watching this that as you give us your opinion on who you believe, and we'll bring it up.
I'm writing.
If we do that, that's an entire 60-minute show.
Manager.
We all know Heenan's our top 3. That's our Mount Rushmore. Let's be real. Paul Heyman's another one. You can't. Those are 2 of the greatest minds that have ever stepped foot as a manager in this business. In my opinion, and I know people are going to probably disagree because it's Heyman, but the man
in the modern day, fine.
That even back then, like that dude
with that hunky, that 4-inch, that 12-inch cell phone.
Yes,
I loved it.
But again, I say managers and factions next
time. Sounds good.
And that'd be Chio. Give me one more.
It'd be May 22nd. That's our next scheduled date. Yep. So if everyone's listening, May 22nd, we'll be back here at 10 a.m. Managers and factions, our top 3 from each of us. But for my second WrestleMania pick, it's gonna have to be Brett, of course, versus Owen Hart. Ooh. They opened up the show. Owen went over, and it was beautifully done. And then later on in the night, after Brett took back the title, and you had that Owen coming in the aisleway, just staring him down as everyone else had him up on their shoulders, giving him praise. It was like, okay, you got the win, but he got the belt. It's like getting the girl in the end.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But not to cut you off real fast, that rivalry between Owen and Brett, it just stands out. I mean, you and your older brother, and you're looking like the whiny little brother. I loved it. I loved all that.
Between that match there, the other 2 matches that they had that I loved was the one where they did the cage match.
Yes.
And then Anvil came in.
Yes.
And Bulldog came in too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had my other one wrong because I was thinking of the wrong person in my head, but Owen was involved with the angle. It was Brett versus Bob Backlund, where Owen threw in the towel, where he had his mom throw in the towel. Because the build-up for Owen, that actually contributed to everything as well. But the whole emotional thing involving the family with the mom and stuff like that, it's just like.
I'm also going to say this: we need to get Ryan Vox on this episode.
Hey, look, bring him on. Whatever.
I'm going to message. I'm going to get a hold of him after this. This man, we both know him.
Yeah,
he's the owner of Outbreak Wrestling. One of the owners of Outbreak Wrestling. But he is an encyclopedia of professional wrestling. He loves this kind of stuff.
He lives for this stuff.
He loves for this stuff. So I'm telling you, I'm going to get a hold of him and tell him he needs to be here for that show.
Oh, listen, guys, this has been really, really fun. I love doing this with you guys. I love doing this with Nate. I love doing the whole show. So listen, be back here May 22nd. And be back here. We'll be doing this again. Reacting to talking managers. We're going to be talking some stuff that we've seen, and like I said, managers and factions. So that's the name, the title. And guys, check in tomorrow with the Joe Sullivan Show, run at 9 a.m., and then we will bounce back. So look, Devro Sports is popping. You got the Joe Sullivan crew. You got my crew. You got and all those great shows here.
Maybe I'll even pop up here tomorrow.
Maybe not. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But look, the Craft Bell Studio, it's popping. You got Money Pop Podcast with Nate. Nate Moss, you got the Sambu First guys with Jay Marcus. You got so much going on. Sarcast with
I love this plug, man. Keep going.
Yeah,
you got
you
got Lady Juice, with Sandra Lee, the great sister of one Hunk Kaiser, God rest his soul. So, guys, please check into the network and check into the program. And
Yep.
till next time, I'll check you guys out later.